welcome back to a new episode with your favorite podcast, Schlagervännerna. As always, my name is Emil and I'm so happy and honored to be doing this. In these shows called Eurovision Legends, I'm talking to people who have meant something special to the Eurovision Song Contest, artists we will never forget, and stories that's just waiting to be told. Today's guest fled to Millstreet in Ireland from Sarajevo in ruins, together with his band, and represented Bosnia and Herzegovina in their first song as a new country. Still today, I remember how worried I was about the war as a little child, although growing up in a safe Sweden and of what happened in former Yugoslavia. I hope our talk won't be a downer, even though we're going to talk about the brutality that took place in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The lyrics of the song, of course, dealt with this, so let us introduce today's guest by playing an extract of the song Svijeta.
Svijeta, jednočas u Bosni, postaje da koliko si i nije me strah, stati pred zid, ja znam da zapjevam, ja znam da pobjedim.
Hi and welcome to the Eurovision Legends, Muhamed Fazlagic.
Thank you, Emil, for the invitation to your show. I'm really pleased that I'm going to be able, to say a few words about our performance in 1993. And I have to admit, I'm surprised with the excellent pronunciation of the title of the song and of my last name.
Oh, wonderful. In 92, Bosnia and Herzegovina declared its independence from Yugoslavia. Before we talk about your song and how you ended up in the Bosnian pre-selection, can you please bring us back to the situation in early 93?
Basically, after the Bosnia held a referendum for independence, as all 6 republics in former Yugoslavia did, our neighboring countries didn't like decision of the majority of the citizens of Bosnia, and it started brutal aggression in early April of 1992. So Sarajevo got under siege. We were trying to defend our city, with all means, although we didn't have much of the tools, to defend, in a physical sense, Bosnia. So basically what we decided, I'm talking about this artist community in Sarajevo, we decided to kind of transcend our internal feelings, to start making songs that they are talking about a little bit suffering, a little bit love, and a little bit love for our country. And basically message was the same, that we wanted a peace. We didn't want to be people who are glorifying, violence or something like that. And basically that's how we started making songs during the war. Since Bosnia got admitted, to the United Nations in May 1992, automatically our national television became part of the Eurovision family. So as such, we were able to send our representative to the Eurovision Song Competition in 1993. And basically we held competition in a basement of the national television. I believe it was early February. 46 songs came in, and then the jury selected, I believe, 12 songs where all basically pop stars in Bosnia were participating in it. So I was, I believe, youngest competitor, but I had really strong team of authors who made the song Svijeta. And basically, we were lucky enough to win that competition by the landslide.
Can we go back here? Because I want to ask you, the song is written by Dino Merlin. And what was the name of the other guy that wrote the lyrics?
His name is Fahrudin Pec, because we call him Peca. It's much easier, yeah.
Yeah. And Dino Merlin, who is one of the greatest artists and composers in the Balkan region. And who
By far, no question about it, yeah.
Yeah, and who we Eurovision fans remember well from Putnici in 99, and this amazing song from 2011.
If you take this life from me today, tear it up and bury me away. Just 1, 2, 3 songs of mine, 100 worries of mine. Your love can rewind. Just 1, 2, 3 songs of mine, 100 worries of mine.
Muhamed, tell me, how did svijeta reach you?
Basically, we were sitting, prior of the info that Bosnia would even participate in Bosnia. I was sitting with Peca, and at the time, my girlfriend fled the country maybe 2 or 3 months prior to the Eurovision Song Competition. So basically, I was asking Peca to put together lyrics for the song that is describing this phenomenon of separation, how much we were missing each other. So basically, this song was designed at the beginning as a letter to the loved ones outside of the Bosnia who were fortunate enough to escape. It's a love story in a really strange condition and circumstances.
So you know Dino in 93 well?
No, I knew Dino from 80s. We were friends. We were going skiing. Dino was playing soccer. Actually football, for the same club I did, FK Sarajevo. Artist community in Bosnia prior to the war, and I believe it's the same today, was really close. We were hanging out with each other. It was one coffee shop called Estrada, on the banks of the Miljacka River, where we would go every single day and drink a coffee. So basically, we were good friends. And Peca kind of said, I'm going to make lyrics, and then I'm going to take these lyrics to Dino to see, if he can make music for this. And that's basically how it all started.
The pre-selection in Bosnia 93 was a little different, using only video clips of the songs.
It wasn't actually video clips. I'm sorry to correct you on that one. We had an actual competition. We had actual performance. Just performance was in a basement of the national TV, and all 12 performances were held live on the TV. Only thing we had to do it. Basically, we were trying to kind of be a little bit deceptive and trying to disguise the aggressor. So we didn't show it live. We show it like day after, because during the showing of Eurovision Song Competition in Bosnian actually competition, we were at that time running across the airport runway. So basically, while the aggressor was thinking that we are performing live on a Bosnian TV studio, we were running across the airport trying to break out of the siege.
Okay, so they sent the video clips of the show
day later.
The day later.
Yeah.
You won, and among those that you beat were Alma Karcic, who went on to win in 94 and 97.
Goodbye. Oh, 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 oh. Spoko, ljubavi, goodbye. Oh, 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 oh. Spoko, ljubavi, goodbye.
And
Right.
Davorin Popovic, who became the representative in 95.
I prvi vijek nam draga dolazi, a tebi nema traga. 20 I prvi vijek nam draga dolazi, a sreći nema traga.
Were you confident that you would win from start, or was the surprise?
Absolutely not confident, because Davor is one of my idols. He was my mentor. Probably he's the biggest ever in a Bosnian history. So basically, when you are kind of shoulder to shoulder with such a great performance like Davor is, Edo Mulahalilovic, Band Code, Dražen Žerić, Alma Čarđić, who is amazing singer and an amazing friend. To be honest with you, I didn't even think about winning the competition. But I was confident that our song is gonna be well received in a Bosnian, community with the Bosnian fans. But when voting started, it was clear, I believe, after the couple of minutes that we're gonna win hands down.
Can you tell us about your voyage to Ireland? The Swedish commentator told the viewers that the entire delegation didn't make it to Millstreet. Is it possible to describe what happened?
Yeah, sure, that is correct. In order to break out of the siege of Sarajevo, you had to run across the airport runway, approximately, I believe, about 1,200 meters, kilometer and 200 meters. So basically, not everybody, since that airport was under the control of the UNPROFOR United Nations forces, they wouldn't allow people to run outside of the Sarajevo and break out of the siege. So in a process, we got caught. A couple times, and they would put those people in the military transporters, and they would bring them back to the starting point. That's basically what happened to me. I was successful from my second attempt. In my group, couple people were successful from the third or fourth attempt, and couple people couldn't make it. So our conductor, Esad Arnautalic, couldn't make it out of the siege. So we were forced, and we are really thankful to use Irish conductor who conducted with orchestra when we were in a Millstreet. So we were not able, to have our own conductor. I don't know if you remember, but in order for us to get to Millstreet, first we had really difficult voyage. We traveled by foot, to the Croatian border for 48 hours. It was really difficult. We had to go over the mountains, hitchhiking cars, just to get to the border. From the Croatian border, it was much easier because we were able to board the bus and come to Zagreb. Then we had to go to Ljubljana, Slovenia, for a qualifying competition where 12 countries applied for that competition. Only 3 could make it to real Eurovision Song Competition, because at that year we had so many independent new countries in Europe. So they decided, out of countries, to send 3. Fortunately, we were successful. We ended up second at that qualifier, and we made it to the island. When we came to Ireland, I have to say, Irish people were so hospitable and they were so nice and kind to us, but it was maximum security situation. Basically, I couldn't move without bodyguards. I believe I had 4. At the time, rest of the band had about 10. Every single rehearsal, we had to, or when we were making media, we had to go with a helicopter. It was kind of mixed emotions. You were still kind of under siege, under maximum security, because people obviously were concerned about our welfare. At the same time, they were so nice to us wherever we would appear. It was unbelievable.
I've heard from interviews that you said you don't only need food for the stomach, you even need food for the soul. Is that why you had so much courage to make this trip?
I think, story about my courage is kind of blown out of proportion a little bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. Because when you are under siege on a daily basis, we were under such a terrible shellings, and grenades and everything. I believe, average day in Bosnia was about 4,000 grenades. That was everywhere around us. So basically, for us to escape the siege, to break out of the siege and run across the airport, it was nothing comparing to what the people in Bosnia were suffering, and in Syria, and we were not in the trenches, we were not in the hospitals dealing with the wounded people and so forth. So I don't think, the big courage, deal from us. We just wanted to represent our country because our existence was denied by the neighboring countries, who had aspiration to take over our country. And also we wanted to bring kind of our message to the living rooms of the people, knowing that Eurovision Song Competition is so well watched, across the Europe. And we just wanted, to make sure that as big audience can hear our story as is possible.
I have spoken to Olia and Angela from the Croatian group Put. And I asked how the feeling between the 3 delegations from the former Yugoslavian countries was. They said you had a great time together.
I'm going to tell you one thing. We have to make this distinction between delegations and performance. Obviously, Croatian delegation had an agenda. They didn't give us any points, when we were in Millstreet or when we were in Slovenia.
Kvalifikacija za Millstreet.
Yeah. They also, used every single opportunity. I'm just talking about head of delegation and about delegation that was taking the band Putakaz to Slovenia and to Ireland. So basically, they were kind of hostile toward us, and they were denying our existence as a country. And they did everything possible to make sure that we do not go to Millstreet. But there was a kind of solidarity between us. We had a great time. We treated each other really well. We had some fun times, and I would appreciate, if people make distinction between performance and the delegation management part of delegation of Croatia.
If you go back to Kvalifikacija za Millstreet, I wonder, because it's very generally thought to have been the victim of foul play, Because each of the 7 participants received exactly 1 top mark from another country, and each jury consisted of 1 single person. Did you feel that something was wrong, or was it simply some incredible, exciting voting?
I know it from the very beginning because a lady who was head of the Croatian delegation, Miss Ksenia Urličić, suggested to me, acting like it was in a friendly manner, to wear a green jacket on the stage. And the green jacket is kind of symbolized with the Muslims. So basically, I just knew it was something, to be played later on after I perform in a green jacket. I did perform in a green jacket, because our stylist decided so. But first question, from the Croatian journalist was, why did you wear your green jacket? Referring like, I wanted to represent just Muslims. So my answer basically was, I was confident we're going to win this competition. And since Ireland is a country of the Atlantic green, I wanted to send a message to the Irish people, we are coming.
Do you remember anything special that happened during the week in Millstreet that we viewers didn't get to see?
Basically, we had one party, with the Johnny Logan, we all got wasted. That was amazing. Also, we received a telegraph from the Bonavox and YouTube wishing us good luck. As you know, Bonavox was really instrumental helping the Bosnian people during the war and during our fight for independence and recognition. So that was really a cool thing. And it was really, this security, it was, I don't know, probably the maximum security ever seen in a Eurovision Song Competition. But it was really nice.
You finished 16th, 12 points from Turkey and scattered points from Ireland, Malta and France, etc. Were you disappointed?
Not at all. We knew that first time in Eurovision Song Competition, we couldn't expect anything more. Also we were concerned. We were half jokingly say, God forbid, if we win, where are we going to hold our competition? Because cities of Sarajevo was in ruins. But we knew, for the country to start doing well in a Eurovision Song Competition, that it was more process than event. So we knew, 4 or 5 representatives had to kind of build reputation for the country for that country to be recognized. We are really appreciative of Turkey giving us 12 points. Like you said, Ireland gave us points, but we didn't think about winning the competition. We just wanted to participate. We wanted to be there, and we wanted to tell our story, from our experience. We didn't want to deal anymore with the filter story, that they were coming from the media outlets.
Apart from your own song, did you have any favorites from 93?
I liked a Greek song. I believe it was performed by Katarina Garbi. Also, winning song was amazing. And I like the French song. I believe it was called Mama Corsica.
Yes.
Mama Corsica, stasera cantiamo in corso per te. Mama Corsica, au nom de l'amour et au nom de l'amitié.
It was kind of solidarity among the performance, and I have to say we were treated more than kindly by everybody.
Wonderful. Have you been approached to compete again since then?
A couple times, but to be honest with you, if nobody else wouldn't, I would go. But kind of my attitude toward Eurovision Song Competition was, I did my part, and it's a time for better looking people, better singers and younger people, to have their chance, because Eurovision Song Competition is well known as a springboard for a future. I was fortunate enough, I grew up in the same neighborhood with a gentleman who represented Yugoslavia in 1973. Zdravko Čolić, who is probably the biggest star in the Balkans. He represented Yugoslavia, and we lived in the same neighborhood. So basically, he kind of explained the roadmap to success to me while I was a young singer and even didn't think, I would have opportunity to go to Eurovision Song Competition. So I was grateful for that. I kind of knew, what to expect from his experience that he told me. So when opportunity kind of was there, I jumped on it. But he said, there is no reason to go multiple times to Eurovision. Do it right, and it's enough.
But when you have been offered to compete for Bosnia, can you tell us were there any special songs?
I have on a daily basis, even, a couple of days ago, I have Bosnian authors approaching me to do the songs. It was the same in 1999. So basically in 1999, I decided not to compete. I decided just to be a guest performer because three of my really good friends who were authors for my first album competed. So I didn't want to compete with them. It was Hari Matahari, who did the amazing song Stara si more.
Stara si more, to smo ti i ja. U moje bore ti se zaplela, ko baklje gore oka dva svijetle mi put, moj put doludila.
I remember, we had some problems with that song that Hari Matahari performed. He was disqualified. Then Dina Merlin went to Israel with the song Putnici. So basically, 1999, I didn't want to compete against my friends.
And what happened to that song?
Which song?
That you've been offered to sing in 1999.
Oh, I did record that song called Zelena rijeka.
Zelena rijeka na mene čeka, sva moja raja i sunce što tja. Čeka li ona, nisam joj rekao, da je ludo volim ja. Zelena rijeka na mene čeka, sva moja raja i dan koji zna.
I love this song.
Yeah, Zelena rijeka is the song I was offered. I just didn't want to compete against my friends. So we put it aside for a couple of years, and then we made that song, and it was successful. Since 2010, I don't perform because I decided to complete my academic education. I went to the doctoral program at University of Louisville in applied sociology. So those 4 or 5 years I really devoted, just to study. And then later on, somehow I started getting into politics. I started advising some Bosnian political figures. And basically right now, I don't think I'm going to actively perform anymore. But if some special occasions, I was invited to perform in Netherlands on April 10th, prior to the Eurovision Song Competition that was supposed to be held this year there. They invited 10 performers that they had significant footprints of the Eurovision song as a whole. Unfortunately, this coronavirus, messed up our plans, so I was not able to perform this year. But if opportunity like that, present itself, I'm always going to jump on it. But I don't think I can be touring musicians anymore.
I would also like to talk about another song Fazla have recorded, Umri bida nisam sa isko. And I would guess that most of my listeners now have no clue of what song I'm talking about. So here's a small preview.
Umri bida nisam sa isko, malo zreli jagoda. Rekla mi je šta si pritisko, stani crko da Bog da. Umri bida nisam sa isko, malo zreli jagoda. Rekla mi je šta si pritisko, stani crko da Bog da.
That song was done in probably half an hour. From the one gas station to the studio, we finalized that song. And we just went into studio, and recorded, and it was, hit. It was very successful. Parody, we just wanted to make a fun, and it turned out, it was more than that.
What's your own favorite of Fazla's songs?
Now you are asking mother which child she likes. I think my first song I ever recorded, that's the one song that I sang in Ljubljana. It's called Kiša ruši grad. That's the song that Dina Merlin and Hari Matahari made it for me at the beginning of the war, and it's talking about how beautiful city of Sarajevo is. And I know how much that song meant to all people that they were under the siege in Sarajevo. So Bol svijeta is definitely, that defined me. But song that I recorded before that one, Kiša ruši grad, is one that is dearest to my heart.
And that's the song that you performed as the other song in Ljubljana as the quality.
That is correct. That is correct.
Today you are in the US.
Yes.
What's your relation to your home country nowadays, and why are you in the US?
To be honest with you, I'm part-time in US. A little bit more time I'm spending in Bosnia. Obviously, my family is here. So I came to visit my daughter, and I got stuck here because of coronavirus, because transportation is not allowed. But I was going to be, like I told you previously, in Holland, and then from Holland I was going to go to Bosnia. Basically, right now I'm spending so much time in Bosnia, like I said, for my political consulting and activities and activism. And also we are making movie about our performance at the Eurovision Song Competition in 1993. Movie is called Sarajevo Calling. Screenplay for that movie was made by called Johnny Allen. And it's going to be directed by the gentleman with name Edward Watts. He is the one who made the documentary this year called For Sama, and he was nominated for Academy Award this year. So we were going to start actively, taping movie early May, but since we have this difficult situation, we're going to prolong that, and probably we're going to start in September. So right now, basically what I'm doing, I'm in between Sarajevo and Louisville, Kentucky, basically on two different continents. Doing my business part in Bosnia, my emotional part with daughter and family right here in the United States.
Can we expect this movie in next year, or?
I think our plan is basically, for this movie to be screened at the Cannes Film Festival in France. So that would be May of 2021. But when you make the plans, God is just laughing at you. So that's basically what happened this year. So we hope, we're going to be able to conclude this movie by the early spring of next year.
Do you have any relation to Eurovision Song Contest today?
Of course I do. I just recently, night before I came to United States in early February, I spent an amazing night at the party with Hari Matahari, who sang that song in Greece called Leila. I had a coffee recently with Dina Merlin. I'm very often, during the social networks, in a contact with many of them. With the Dean, song in the disco, with Alma Čarđić. Unfortunately, Davorin is not among us anymore, but while he was alive, I would have contact with Davor maybe once a week. Basically, I'm in contact with pretty much all of them.
Do you have any favorite songs from the Eurovision history?
Eurovision history as a whole, or Bosnian song?
Or both.
Let's Bosnian song by far, Hari Matahari.
Golube, moj golube, nosio suze mjesto pjesme. Ja odlazim, ko da sam kriv, što volim onu koju ne smije.
I liked also one song that was performed by Daniel. I believe it was 1983. He represented Yugoslavia back then, and the song was called Julie.
Zove se Julie.
I think it was an amazing song. and also Toto Cutugno in Zagreb, Croatia. I believe it was 1990, and the Spanish group. Probably that's the most famous Spanish group, Bandidos. 1992 ladies from Spain.
Alltså Car Moreno.
There you go. That was my favorite song of all time.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you. It was fantastic, Muhamed.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I mean, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. And I hope many people will hear our story. And I wish you nothing but the best in the future business endeavors.
And thanks to you, the listener. It's an amazing feeling to reach out to such a wonderful audience. Opinions, questions, or suggestions are more than welcome. Use our social media accounts or email me at emil@schlagervanderna.se. Sva radost, svijeta, prema tebi.
Hvala puno. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you.
Ostaje da Bog prkosim I nije me strah stati pred zid. Ja znam da zapjevam, ja znam da pobjedim. Pa Bog svijeta jer noćas u Bosni. Ostaje da Bog prkosim I nije me strah stati pred zid. Ja znam da zapjevam.